Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Azizdrives. Today we have a BMW F87 M2 Competition in this Hockenheim Silver color. Before we start the review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, check out our other videos on the car, for example the fuel economy, and let's begin. The BMW M2 Competition is a very fast and driver-oriented car. There's no fancy electronics or anything that is really extraordinary to make it look or feel better and whatever. No air suspension, no fancy suspension or gadgets, nothing like that. It is just a good engine, a good drive, fantastic brakes and a fantastic look. I mean, it looks very, very beautiful. And now you can get those cars for fairly under 50,000, which makes it a fantastic car for you to drive daily and on track. So that is the main purpose of it, and you will see it in a later part of the video where we have driven it a little bit faster on the autobahn and on some very narrow corners. What I like most though is that this is kind of the reincarnation of the M3 E46. It has the same kind of dimensions, it looks very pretty, we have a normal sized kidney in the front, we have beautiful headlights, and then of course the technology that you actually need. M compound brake system from the M4. Very good suspension. This one has been lowered, which means we have a KW suspension, but even the standard one is plenty. It's really good. Then you come to the back, very nice coupe form, a little bit wider in the back here. It looks very beautiful. And compared to the new BMW M2 that we also had, this looks much more beautiful, to be honest. Much more beautiful. And it has plenty of power. Trust me on that one. I mean, it really feels good. We're talking about the engine a little later. Here in the back, okay, this is a Grail exhaust system, but it is a fairly beautiful car, very practical, and just M2 Competition, blacked out, you know, those tinted windows. It is a beautiful car. I think we should talk about the engine a little, right? Let me pop the hood to show you what the engine is all about. So this car and the M4 share the same engine, the ones from the S55, the ones you know about, right? But the only difference between the both cars is just the size, right? The M4 is a little bit wider, a little bit longer, has a longer wheelbase. Here we have a shorter wheelbase, which makes it a little bit more aggressive. And in terms of engine, they're the same. It's only 0.3 bar difference that separates this engine, the S55, 410 horsepower, 550 Newton meters in the M2, between the M2 and the M4. Able to accelerate the car from 0 to 100 in 4.2 seconds with a dual clutch transmission, tops out at 280 kph. Very interesting is, they say 9 liters of fuel consumption. We tested it, make sure to check out the fuel economy. It was very, very interesting to find out. It's incredible how efficient this car is. So now, have a listen. The interior has also stayed kind of the same, right? There's not really a lot of difference between this and the latest M2. I should know it because I owned it, right? I mean, it's fairly the same. It really is. It's just a little bit more modern, more shapes, maybe a little bit of a different design, and that's it. The seats feel comfortable. We have a leather armrest. We have Alcantara additions, a black roof here. It is very nice. A leather steering wheel. Metal here. The only difference in technology is this little shift knob, because here we have a dual clutch transmission. In the latest M2 we have a automatic transmission, 8-speed. But that's it. I mean, you have your Bluetooth, you have a navigation system, etc. And everybody knows you can upgrade those, so there's not really a difference, to be honest. Of course, the latest one is always a little bit more and a little bit more gadgets and stuff like that. But do I really need a screen? Do I really need a big 4K screen? I don't know, it's just about preference, right? I think this is a very good car. We have this exposed carbon. Yes, this dashboard is plastic. They just put some stitchings in, so it looks a little bit better. Then we have some blue stitchings on the side here with the Alcantara. I don't know why they put the blue stitchings here. If they had done the same thing here, that would match a little bit more. But other than that, I mean, it's a really nice car. Feels comfortable, nice steering wheel, and the most important thing is the drive, right? To me, this is a go. This is a really good car. All right, friends, you can probably already hear it. This is a M2 F87 with 410 horsepower from 2018, which means this is OPF, but we have a great exhaust system which makes it sound very nice. And what this car also has is a KW suspension. It's been lowered, it's been widened, it looks very nice in this Hockenheim silver color. And what I love is you can drive this car like a fucking maniac. So we're going to test how it is on high speed roads like in Germany, because we are in Germany. And then we're going to see how it goes around corners, because this car is now a good bang for the buck and you can finally afford one of these. And it doesn't have the N55 engine like the first M2 generation. The facelift here has the S55, which is the engine from the BMW M4. And it has 410 horsepower and 550 Newton meters of torque. Double clutch system. With the M drivers package, it accelerates from 0 to 100 in 4.2 seconds and tops out at 280 kph. I'm not sure if this car has the M drivers package, but I think we should find out, right? So the autobahn is going to open somewhere there, but just so you know, we're driving still on winter tires and it's about 15 degrees outside, but it still goes really nice around corners, man. And the sound, it's very good for OPF. It's very, very good. But as I said, it's a great exhaust system and the flaps are open currently, so very nice. The KW suspension has given it a very stable, yes, a very stable drive somewhat. It is a little bit more, it bumps a little bit more. Of course, it's a little stiffer, but I still feel very comfortable in here. I really do, and especially how this car drives. Comparing it to the M4, it has only 0.3 bar less power. That's it. 0.3 bar less turbo boost. So if you just stage 1 tune it, you'll have like 500 horsepower, and an M2 has no chance anymore. The only thing you would have to ask yourself is whether you like the shorter wheelbase, which makes it a little bit more aggressive when you turn in somewhere in a corner or accelerate out a corner. But that's about it. I mean, it's just about preference really at this point, because both of those cars are around, so let's say 50k. And if you lease it or something like that, it's really at around 50k. So it's just preference. It's not really a big difference anymore, especially when you stage 1 tune it. The weight is pretty similar. The feeling inside here is also pretty similar. Of course, we buy cars, right? When you buy an M car, you don't buy it for luxury. If you want luxury, you go in the premium section like M6, M8 and so on. But this is just about pure sport and driving. It has an M compound brake system. It looks beautiful. It really looks wonderful. It's one of the best looking M2s ever created, and I think it's one of the best looking M cars ever. And it reminds me a lot of the E46 somehow, because they're similar size. They're pretty much the same in size. They look pretty similar. I really like it. The front looks very feminine but still aggressive. It's a beautiful, beautiful car. I really do like it. Some might say it's a woman's car. I don't agree. I really don't. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful driving machine, and it really, really is nice to drive. And now, a couple of months later, I've driven this car before, like almost 2 years ago, and I've driven a couple of different cars. But I have to say, I start to like it. Okay, we're at the part where it starts to get open. We're currently at 110 kph. Let's give it a go. Okay, on the 20, on the 40, on the 50, next gear on the 60, 170, 180, 190, 200. Oh, 200 kph in an instant. But there is a Polo in front of us that's pretty much driving at maximum speed. Let's see. Come on, Polo. I can smell the petrol from him. I think he's flooring it at 170 kph. What the hell, man? Come on. Okay. Strange noise coming from here after 200 kph. This might be the tire. Strange. It's just getting worse and worse. Yeah, we couldn't really top speed it. I don't know, maybe it's too low and the wind resistance has pushed it down, but it accelerates pretty nicely. It really does. But this car, nobody cares about the acceleration, so we just turn off the DSC, right? Let's see. Cornering feels pretty good. As I said, winter tires. Very good. But we're here for something else. We are here for this kind of stuff, right? Nothing makes me laugh like a beautiful BMW going a little bit crazy around the corner. Best experience. Let's mount the outdoor cams and let's take it for a little bit of a cornering drive. All right, friends, so the verdict after the autobahn is simple. The M2 lacks a little bit in power after like 150, 160 kph. You can really tell that they kind of detuned it so it isn't as fast as the M4. I've noticed this with M2s a couple of times. The only difference is the G87, you can't tell anything there. It's really so fast, but it's the same principle. Same engine, but a little bit less boost. So if you just stage 1 tune it, this problem is solved, okay? But what is important for us to know is how this car goes around corners. That's the most important thing, because obviously an M2 is more for the guy that wants to drive, right? So here, in the lower RPM ranges, it feels very good. That's fantastic sound, of course. And it turns in very sharp. The brake system is also fantastic. Compound brakes, you can really brake late. You can really hold the car on the brake, even going into a corner. It is a very good car. We have the KW suspension, which means it handles on those bumps very good. This is a very bumpy road, and you can tell, man, it's really a fast machine. I don't think you can get a much faster car, especially that you can use daily, right? The M2 is really a good car. This engine, very good, fantastic. So I think we should just drive down here a little bit. Look at that. Very good, very nice. Pull revs beautifully up until 7,500 RPMs. Let's have a listen here. The sound is also very nice. No pops and bangs after 5,000 RPMs, which is very good, because what I noticed with some cars, when you hold it on the throttle 5,000-6,000 RPMs into a corner, they tend to kind of, I don't know, it's really like a disturbance when you're holding the throttle, because it doesn't know, should I do a pop and bang or not? You're just pressing the gas a little bit, so that is good that they only gave it in the lower RPM ranges. You know, downhill is always a little bit more dangerous, so we will turn around here and drive uphill a little bit more aggressive. But the sound is just so nice. Such a nice sound experience here. Okay, it's very low. That worked. Very good. So let's drive uphill. 3, 2, 1. I'll shove it up and explain a little bit. Very nice. Yes! Wow! Very beautiful, actually. Fantastic, controllable, beautiful to experience. You can't buy a better car to experience than an M2 M4 from this generation. It's fantastic. The brakes are beautiful. It brakes really good. Look at that. The whole experience. Turn in, second gear, hold it on the throttle here, turn around, just a little push. Literally like a go-kart. What a fantastic machine. Beautiful to experience, amen. I mean, it's so good. And even though I used to hate the steering wheel, now with this setup, with the KW suspension, beautiful steering wheel, it feels very good. It's actually very good. You can really tell what is happening with the car, and this is really nice to experience. And I mean, you have just seen it. You can really throw it around corners, do whatever you want with it. Absolutely fantastic. So the verdict is very simple. If you want a car on a budget that you can race on the track, that you can drive daily, that is fast, also beautiful, also has a comfortable seats, it's very nice. There is no other car than the M2. I mean, we just beat the Mustang before, and you know, it's literally a fantastic machine to drive, and you can throw it around like a fucking go-kart. Beautiful to experience. A little bit less power in the higher RPM ranges, of course. After 150, 180 kph, it lacks a little bit of that power. There is where the 0.3 bar boost miss, but other than that, I'm a big fan. I really love it. And that's as far as we can take it with the driving experience. Hope you like it, and don't forget to subscribe, friends. Please subscribe, it really helps us out. And that's it with our BMW M2 Competition experience. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment what we should film next or some suggestions. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.